Les Paul Gold Top 54 that I bought in the hardware store in '54 for $75, and that was. And then I bought an Orange Crate amp, and I used that for the next 3 years. And I was 15 then, I think, and then maybe 4 years, because I was I think 19 when I walked into Ziggy's music store, and I wanted a guitar with a Bigsby on it, the vibrato, so I could do that. Anyway, that's what I wanted, and I looked at a White Falcon, and it's beautiful, and but it had a neck on it like a baseball bat, and could hardly play it, and it was very expensive, for me. And I was just a working musician, and we were lucky on many nights just to make $10 a night, and so Ziggy pulled out this case from his line, and he says, "I think you might like this." And he put the 6120 orange Chet Atkins Gretsch in my arms, and it just nestled in there so beautifully, and the neck was a dream, which everybody has agreed with that ever played it. I mean, some great guitar players have picked it up, and, oh, I love this neck, including Buddy Holly and Larry Carlton and people like that, Merle Travis. Well, I just wanted that flexibility and to be able to use it for, I don't know. Because we were doing country music, and then of course later I used it for the. So I found many good uses for it, and was happy to have it. And that guitar I still have recorded on it up until recently, when and they Gretsch made a copy of it, and put my name on it as a signature guitar, and it's just perfect. Stephen Stern, their head master builder, they call him. He's a luthier, and he put it together and took the measurements, and they found out that through the years the 6120 had gotten a little shallower, but so he put the deeper body back on it, and the exact measurements, and the neck is perfect. And so I can pick up one in here and probably play it just like my original. And so I stopped using the original, and because he made a prototype of the original for me, and that worked great. So I put the guitar to work in the museum in Phoenix, and so that's where it resides today. I loaned it to them, and because it was their 100th anniversary of Arizona becoming a state, so February of 2012, and so they thought it'd be nice to have a little a musician's exhibit of the local music, and that's what I was, local. I cut all my hits there, or all the early ones. I used a single coil, which a lot of people don't like. I remember Chet Atkins saying, "I hated those darn things." He said, but when I got the humbuckers, he said, "I'm not putting them down." He says, "I know they work great for you," he said to me, and I said, "Yeah, they were fantastic." And he says, "But it just wasn't smooth enough for me." So when I got the humbuckers, he says, I was a happy man. And he said, he asked me, "What kind of strings do you use?" I said, "I use Chet Atkins Gretsch strings, of course. I did everything just like you, Chet, except play. I couldn't do that." I asked Stephen to build me a 6-string bass, and sent him a set of the Dano strings, and the measurements on the neck, and picked out a Gretsch bass body, which is, they make regular basses, the big 4-string electric basses like Fenders, and And I told him I wanted a G brand on it because I'd never had that before. And the same electronics as my 6120. And so it's a bad sound. And a few weeks later in the mail, he sends me a guitar like this, and I took it out, plugged it in, and I thought, my goodness, he's a genius. How did he do that? I don't know if he looked up a Dano and checked it out, but he says he didn't. So he just went on my specs and my ideas and put this thing together, and I just think it's just wonderful, and it's wonderful for what I use. And the thing is, unlike the Dano, I showed it to Harold Bradley. He used to do the, let's see if I can do that. He did all that on Patsy Cline Records and all the country artists down there in Nashville. And he said he took it and he says, I'll be darned. He says, you can play chords on it, which you never could do on a Dano. He said the same thing I did. He said, I fought that thing for 50 years. And I said, that's amazing. I said the same thing. And same words exactly. So it's kind of fun.